can give myself a little bit of volume here. Trying out the AirPods today, see if the microphone's any better. So let me know what you reckon on that. Going through the opening credits here. Final sprint race of the year. I've got that right. G'day everyone, g'day. Just me today, sorry. Getting a few season highlights here of Frederick Vesti and Tao Pourchaire doing their best to pretend that there's still a championship to be won here this weekend. Hope you're all well. Wherever you're tuning in from around the world. Final sprint race of the year, as we were just touching on. Been a long season. It's been a weird season. I'm just sorry, excuse my silence. I'm kind of just watching the highlights here because it's been a fucking while since I've commentated on a Formula 2 race. Last one would have been when was the last time I commentated on a Formula 2 race? Someone's just done a subscribey thing. Thank you for that. Clem's not here to keep an eye on those, so I'm afraid I won't be too much good at it, but I'll try my best. I genuinely don't know when the last time I watched a Formula 2 race on TV was, because I was at Monza and I was at Zandvoort, and if it was Silverstone before then, maybe it was Hungary. Some comments coming through the chat. Not the same without Clem here. No, it's not the same without Clem here. I can actually relax and enjoy watching this race for the most part. Got a couple of mates in there still, but nothing. I'm easy. I'm cruisy. I'm actually. Dare I say, I'm looking forward to it. Because if Clem's not in the race, it can't go bad for him. So, you know, just looking at the circuit here, taking a look at some highlights last year. Lawson on Vashore. I was there for this race, actually, last year when Lawson won. I think that was the first time I ended up on the tally, actually. Was under the podium during Lawson's national anthem. Pretty sure that was my television debut. So there you go. Historic scenes 12 months ago. Here we are 12 months later. 3 lights left on the grid before they get going on the outlap. Is that Tao Pourchaire running a special edition helmet? Oh, and apparently he's run a practice start. You're not meant to do that. The only thing I would say, and I don't think we should really fool ourselves into getting too excited about a championship battle here, but doing a special edition helmet is daft from Tao Pourchaire because it's ask Ollie Vernon. It's always the ones where you do the special helmets for that shit hits the fan. So any Pourchaire fans should be seriously concerned about the fact that he's running a limited edition lid this weekend because yeah, I hope he's not superstitious. That's all I'll say on that point. Running through the grid, as I've missed most of it, Hadjar Vashore, they'll start the second row. You got Hauger Iwaza, P5, P6, Maloney, Miney, P7, P8, Martans and Doohan share the fifth row of the grid. Juan Manuel Correa and Roy Nassani will be on the sixth row. Then Arthur Leclerc and Tao Pourchaire potentially under investigation at P14. Roman Stanek in the Trident, he will start P15 ahead of Ralph Boschong. Behind them, terrible qualifying from Oliver Behrman down in 17th alongside Amaury Cordeel. Then you've got Jackie Moon, another bad qualifying from him. Friend of the show there, P19, Franco Colapinto, his debut weekend, P20. And where have we seen this before? Car number 21 on grid, spot number 21. And then bringing up the rear of the field is that Mason bloke. So, sorry, I did the best with what I could there. Is that for sure with a great qualifying? Felipe Dragovic. hanging out at MP Motorsport there. What a backbone. What a backbone! Favorite Dragovic is. Oh, and there's problems for car number 21. Almost hear the helicopters and gunshots from Vietnam. Car trouble for 21. Car trouble for 21. Oh, the Trident's out of the race. Fuck me, where have we heard that one before? We should be glad Clem's not there. This would have happened to him. Yeah, does anyone know what the can surely Porsche can win it today? I reckon Vesti should. I mean, if I'd put money on Vesti to win this race. Very short run into T1 here at Abu Dhabi. Complicated first sector if you're in a tow on cold tyres as well. So watch out for drama in the mid to rear of the pack. Growthebundle.com. Shout out to one of Scooby Doo's sponsors there. See, I remembered that. Right. I mean, they're coming around the final corner now on the formation lap. If you're trying to sort of sync up, Enzo Fittipaldi's doing a bunch of burnouts. I really like Enzo Fittipaldi. Shout out to Enzo Fittipaldi. He's a real good dude. Lining up on the grid now, Frederick Vesti stops the car. Isaac Hajar stops the car, and so on and so forth. Hopefully, you're able to sync up. There's Frederick Vesti's family there in pit lane. I was actually next to Fred's mum in Monza at the F2 hospitality when shit hit the fan there. So that was brutal. All right. Okay, there's a hype train, something going. Don't know what that really means. The Aston Martin DBX finds its place at the rear of the grid. Flag flies green. One, two, three, four, five lights. Out they go. She's a pretty good launch from Scooby Dooby Doo, who's going to take the lead early on. Or is he? Is Enzo Fittipaldi going to hang on around the outside? He is too, you know. Three, four wide in the background there. Still Scooby Doo, P2. Oh, and there has been some drama in the rear of the pack. Somebody spun around. Is that Teo Pourchaire? Is that Teo Pourchaire? I don't think it is. How about Dick for sure? Get that up here. Toe on the man. Fittipaldi, who's got this? You've got no idea. They've all been in a Red Bull Academy at one point or another. Snow melts, and it looks like it's still going to be Fittipaldi, and it's going to be Hadjar challenging around the outside now for P2, and it's Red Bulls 1 and 2. Scooby Doo drops down to P4 on the opening lap. Still too early to panic for the young Dane. This one's Rogue, fellas. Vesti looks down the inside of Ashore again, thinks better of it, backs out towards the second part of the corner. They're coming down towards the Yas Marina Hotel now. Safety car gets thrown. Here we go. Right, so I'm going to get a chance to catch my breath here. Fuck a duck. Somebody's almost just... Swayze has almost just ploughed into the side of Scooby-Doo, but narrowly avoids contact. And it was one Manuel Correa spun around in the background there. What a shame. What a guy. Safety car. He's had a mare. He's getting his belts redone in pit lane. I reckon, here's a suggestion. Given how Arthur Leclerc's season's gone, not as far as performance, but just as far as when shit happens, it usually happens to Arthur Leclerc. And if and it, you can draw a parallel to his brother in Formula One as well. I think some kind of exorcism retreat kind of situation is probably necessary at the Leclerc household over the winter break. Um, maybe an ayahuasca situation could unfold. They could do something. I think they could both greatly benefit from it because I mean, fuck me, you know what I mean? So if anyone's got a good ayahuasca guy in South America, could you send a message to Arthur Leclerc and or Charles Leclerc? Actually, who's his manager? Nico Todd. If somebody could get in touch with Nico Todd, if you're running some kind of high end ayahuasca clinic in South America, could you get in touch with Jean Todd and Nico Todd, please? And just inform them of your operation because I feel like it's become necessary. As we're going to get a replay of the start here. Fittipaldi does that's a cracking job from Enzo Fittipaldi. Knows he can get away with just that little bit more because Vesti's fighting the championship, but that's still, I mean, finding grip where you wouldn't expect it. That's lovely stuff. Now we're going to ride on board here with Tao Porcher, and one just spins in front. You would have absolutely shat yourself, your Tao Porcher, in that situation. And we can't rule out the fact that he hasn't. They're not out of the car yet. So yeah, oh, poor old one. Had dinner with him a week ago today. He was in fine form. Looking forward to next year. Doing you see Martins there. So interesting, actually, the slightly more interesting championship battle actually going on here this weekend. Whoa! Is that that's all the consequence of Kush Miney just checking up there, I think, in the middle of the corner. And then how about this shit? Sorry, we'll get back to that point I was about to bring up. Yeah, I mean Vesti thought he was mint, and then next thing you know, no good. Hedge out of the end. Hedge with a great move there. To be fair, that was cracking stuff from him. Very bizarre for him to be involved in something like that and not end up taking numerous front wings off. But good on him. Fuck, there's a lot of Red Bulls on this grid next year. This year, there's almost none of them next year. Just gonna have a look at the chat again here quickly. So Arthur stalled on the grid. They're saying on the chat, which is, yep. Again, look, if you're running a really good ayahuasca operation, doesn't have to be in South America. Ideally, if you're running a high-end ayahuasca operation in the south of France, please get in touch with Nicholas Todd. Oh, Victor Martins with damage to the front of his ART. Now that ties into the point I was about to bring up. Oh, he's really done a bit of a gender change on his front wing there, on the nose box there. Yeah, so the interesting subject. So you've got Oliver Behrman and Victor Martins. They are going for the rookie of their championship, separated by 1 point as they run at the moment. How's Behrman's P13? Fred, it's a long race. Honestly, elbows out. You've got nothing to lose. We need you to win this. So elbows out. Okay, so they're basically that is a message to Scooby Doo there that is basically just saying, mate, just send it. What do you? Yeah, I totally agree with that message from Prema. Um, yeah, so Behrman's running P13, so he's up 4 spots from the start, and now right behind Martin. So he's done a cracking job, actually. You love to see that from Essex's Max Verstappen. All right, so is the safety car in this lap? Formula Two is actually quite good, when you're not like emotional, like that emotionally tied to it. Maybe I've been talking too much shit all these years. Okay, so we're going to get one more lap under the safety car, so there's going to be a little bit more room for some generic chat here. Something I'd like to bring up. Sorry, just try. Oh, if Martins gets a penalty for that, that's a bit unfair. That's what they're suggesting on the commentary. Now, as it stands, okay, right. So as it stands, there's a 21-point gap. I mean, to be fair, can actually really still happen for Scooby Doo here. This really can still happen for Scooby Doo if he, yeah, just gets up it. And he has to win tomorrow. He has to win tomorrow, realistically. And it has to go wrong for Porsche. But as I mentioned at the top of the show, Porsche's done a special edition paint job on his helmet for the weekend, which is just a fucking terrible idea if you're fighting for a championship. He's literally been Mr. Consistency this year. He's only won one race. He's got the same amount of wins as Novalak. And now is the round that he's going to throw a fancy paint job at it. I just don't understand the reasoning from Teo Porcher. Also, another point I'd like to bring up on his behalf. We've seen is this Teo's third or fourth year? Third, I believe. It's the end of Teo Porcher's third year in Formula Two. And it's the first race weekend of what I'm guessing around about in the almost mid 30s. Um, that he's arrived to a race weekend with a half decent haircut. I mean, we've seen all the extremes from that man in the last 36 months. We've seen stupidly tall hair with nothing on the side. We've seen the Jack doing buzz cut at the start of this year. And it's just never really come together. But I saw an interview at the start of the weekend, and it's a mid length. It's not crazy short on the sides. It's just neat. And it's sort of nicely swept over. He's finally done a good job on that fucking fine. And we're going to get another lap of safety car. What is this? IndyCar? He's finally nailed the Barnet, has Teo Porcher. And again, why do it now? Like, you've had shit here for 3 years. You've had the same race helmet for three. You're finally leading the. Keep all things the same. Just keep all things the same. He's taking risks. Right. So now we get confirmation that the safety car's ending. As they run, Fittipaldi had you for sure. Vesti, Hauger. Where's Hauger come from? Awaza, Jack Doohan, Kushmani, and Topol Share and Zane Maloney are your top 10. Stanek with a good start, up 4 spots into the P11. Martins has had a bit of a shitter, and Behrman is up there going decent. Crawford also up 4 spots. So yeah, good, good, good. How many Red Bull cars are in shot? One, two, three, four. How many Red Bull cars have we got? 6? Okay, somebody can't watch the race, and this is all that they're relying on. So I've got a bit of duty of country here. So I'll try and do my best to actually make this a half decent commentary stream, as it's a championship deciding weekend. Past the marina, there's this big old pirate ship that they miss on the. It's easy to miss it on the TV. Hey, there's the yacht that I think I was on last year. There's this big old pirate ship in the Yas Marina Bay. Um, I think Monster do an event there. It's quite good fun. Anyway, getting ready to go. Safety car. Enzo Fittipaldi leads the field round through underneath the hotel. Now past the Alpine Rolex advertising boards, and he puts the foot down. Bit of a slip of the tongue there from Alex Jakes. Alrighty, what do we got going? Anything cooking? Not really. Pretty much line of stern. Maloney taking a little bit of a look. Is Pepe Marti going to F2 next year? I think he is going to F2 next year. Oh, bit of oval racing there between Mason and this. Oh, here's Vesti. Oh, Scooby Doo. How about that? I like that move from you. Good on ya. Scoob. The Red Bull's getting frisky with one of the Alpine Academy drivers there. Is that Jack Doohan going at it hammer and tong with a Yumo Iwaza? Crawford making moves. He's up to P14, slides through on Nisani. And Behrman's got around Martin. Still not in the point scoring positions, but that is relevant. And now he's through on Stanek. Behrman making serious progress here. Stanek fights back though. I'm just watching the timing splits here. I'm not actually watching the screen. Here's an onboard of Jack Dillon. He looks to go around the outside of Awaza. Awaza holds firm on the brakes and then just almost runs into Patrick Swayze and forces Dillon off the road. For me, Dillon's kept the position anyway, has he? No, if Mir Awaza probably has to give that back. All right, on board with Tao Porsche, still running in the P9 there. Looking at the back of points, otherwise known as Kushmini. High stress level. He's in the 180 BPM range at the moment on his biometric intensity level. Escalating as they go down the straight. Is he thinking about a move here, Tao Porsche? Spooks around in the mirrors, but nothing going. Martin's still going with that wing. I think it would be fair to say that that's costing him some performance at this point in time. Here's Vesti Radio. Push for fastest lap, the instruction from Prema. And that's a nice move from Jack Doohan. Just caught the tail end of it. Very romantic is how I'd describe that move. Geometrically romantic is how I'd describe that overtake from Jack Doohan, actually. There you go. Still Fittipaldi leading, so hey, fair play. I'm not overly surprised. To be honest, though, I thought Vesti just would have been quicker. I thought off the line and up the road, but not to be. No siree, Bob, says Enzo Fittipaldi. Scooby-Doo follows instructions well. Very obedient from Prema. He sets down the fastest lap, 1 minute 39.415 for Scooby-Doo. And now he's got the DRS range on old Hajar as Martins does come into pit lane to change that front wing on lap 8 of 23 here, folks. Hope you're enjoying it. Tell your friends. Should have all the boys on hopefully tomorrow at some point. Maybe for the F1 Grand Prix. But I think they might be going out tonight. So put those plans on pause as Porsche does make that move stick on Kushmini 1 lap later. Sized him up nicely a lap before, and onward he goes. Iwaza and Doohan under investigation, forcing another drive off the road. We touched on that a little bit earlier. I think he needs to give it back, but Doohan's overtaken him anyway. Hauger continues to impress. P5, but it does seem to the fog is lifting a little bit now. The race seems to find its pace a bit more as Scooby-Doo gets it right out sideways through Latifi. And yes, we should keep that in mind as the Sky commentary room brings up again as Fittipaldi sets the fastest lap. Taro Porcher under investigation for doing a practice start when he potentially wasn't meant to do that. So, all right. So I think Vesti's actually in quite a nice spot here to get a move done on Hajar. He's got the DRS. Hajar does not. But no, it doesn't quite have that straight line. But if he stays in touch through the chicane, he could have another go. As we see Porcher lining up a move on Owaza. And he should have quite nice traction here as they go past the support lane pit. Paddock, all the F2 garages are on the right-hand side there of Porsche, underneath the Dutch stand, which was a lot of fun last year, actually. I love the Dutch. Great chat, the Dutch. Porsche getting very nosy there and getting through on the man from Japan. All right, what are we looking at now? Just for those listening along with no access to Sky, it's Fittipaldi, Hadjar, Vesti, Vishaw, Hauger doing Porsche P7 under investigation, let's not forget. And then we've got Iwaza, Miney, and Maloney rounding out your top 10. Behrman knocking on the door of the top 10 in P11. Points only as far as 8th in this race, remember? Go on, Fred. If anyone's got any questions, fire them through. And I'll try and pay attention to the chat, but I probably will miss them. Scooby-Doo, I think he's close enough here. The Mystery Mobile. He's got to send it. Got to send it. Got to send it. Remember, it's Hadjar, though. It's actually quite well driven from Hadjar there. But here we go. Can have another sniff here. Yeah, important passing this lap, and I couldn't agree more with Prem and Mechanic. Straight line at Ace. Here we go. Yep. Oh, good. What a move. Scooby-Dooby-Doo. Where are you, P2? How good. That was sexy from Vesty. That was, man. I like that. I really enjoyed that. I'd be lying if I said it didn't have a saving. Turn 5 incident involving Maloney. Every time I see MAL, I'd want to say Maldonado. Right. Vesti released. 2.5 seconds the gap now to Fittipaldi. Porsche only scoring 2 points so far in this race if he finishes where he sits. Bit of a DRS train happening from sort of P9 backwards. P9's like P14. They're stuck in the DRS train. Yeah, if anyone's got any questions. Oh, this is quite exciting now. This is a fun little part of a race. I quite like this. Pastor Maldonado to go. Someone's got some questions? Yep. Fire them through. Race sort of reaching a bit of a lull at this point, so I'm going to try and pay attention to some of the. James, you don't want to know Freya's questions. Trust me. Okay. 2.4 seconds the gap. So Festi's pushing and he's got the fastest lap. I'll be interested to see what our response from Enzo Fittipaldi is here lap time wise. So 139, 137 from Vesti. I have a question for you that will confuse a lot of people, I think. Most questions are confusing. That's why they're questions. I wonder how Shaw's getting on. I'd love to see Dick Shaw get up on the podium. Are you going to stream tomorrow? There's an example of a question. Yes, we'll stream tomorrow. Which shirt did I like the most, the off-white or the black one? I liked this one. I like the off-white one. This is my favorite. I really like the. I like the dark grey one as well, though. When I saw it in the flesh, I was like, actually, that's real cool. That's it. But I think the black one, dark grey one, sold out first. So proofs in the numbers. Hope you guys are enjoying them. Let us know if you get a Polaroid as well. Would love to know if you got a Polaroid. Oh, plenty of people who can't have them until Christmas, which is quite funny. A few, yeah, a few. Hopefully next week. Oh, someone got a Polaroid. Toby got a Polaroid. How good? Good on you, Toby. What are the odds of that? I think it's fewer than 2%. How many were there? It was 500 shirts. It was 500 shirts. 15 out of 500. Yeah, zero point 0.7. No, 1.5%, 3% chance or something. I don't know. No, this is going to bother me now. Yeah, 3%. There's a 3% chance of getting a Polaroid. So you're pretty special if you got a Polaroid. 10 to go. Right, returning to the race here now. Vesti's brought that gap down to 1.9 seconds. Still holds the fastest lap. Um, Porsche still P7 behind Doohan. Out of the DRS as well, and Doohan's on that DRS train. So I think this could be all. I don't know. I mean, there's still 10 laps to go of a Formula 2 race. Anything can happen. Patrick Swayze's looking fast. Looking pretty keen to take P4 off of Isaac Kaja. As Martin sets down the fastest lap here now. I wonder if that's a thing. I wonder if that's a strategic move from ART. They're just going to keep Victor out there to make sure he keeps fastest lap away from Scooby Doo. Makes sense. I'd do it. It seems a bit dirty, but I'd do it. Don't you believe that Prema wouldn't do it if the shoe wasn't on the other foot? By the way, is the audio better with the AirPods? Some feedback on that would be appreciated. Getting some shots of doing that. So there's so many. I cannot wait for next year when everyone just walks away from their academies, um, and we don't have like 100 Red Bull cars on the grid again. Oh, be a real breath of fresh air. Apparently, the audio is no better on the AirPods, so audio's worse. It crackles when I shout, apparently. But yeah. All right. Oh, maybe we'll just ditch the AirPods then.
All right, back to original. Where are we at? Still on board. Okay, we're on board with Patrick Swayze. Okay, that's way better. All right, so sorry about the last 36 minutes then, folks. Shit plug for Apple there. Fuck me. I honestly would have thought that the microphone on this would have been better, but there you go. AirPods. Shit microphones. Right, I'm going to maneuver myself around a bit now because my upper back is starting to hurt a bit. Oh! Sit up straight. Better for the backbone. All right. Where are we at? Aaron's still struggling. Not surprising. Not a comment on Aaron. Screaming Meals AirPod case could be a go, yeah. Sorry to ask, but what's the order? That's absolutely fine. The order is, and there's a 10-second penalty, car number 12. Who's car number 12? Leclerc. Doesn't matter then. Again, any ayahuasca operators, let me know. The running order is, we're on lap 10. Fuck me. Let me get my words out here. Jeez, get it together, Blair. Lap 16 of 23. P1, Fittipaldi. 2, Vesti. 3, Vachor. 4, Hadja. Closely followed by Hauger in P5. P6, Derwin. P7, Porsche. P8, Iwaza. 9th is Maloney. 10th, Kushmini. Oliver Behrman stuck in P11, although only a 10th behind Miney now. They might be about to swap over. Roman Stanek runs P12, Jack Crawford in P13, Roy Nassani in 14th, in front of his teammate, Callum Mason, I think his name's Callum. Mason 15th, and that's all they're showing me on the screen at the moment, I'm afraid. But anyone else below 15th has pretty much fucked it anyway, so who cares? Joshua Mason, sorry. Who's Callum Mason then? Who am I thinking of there? Sorry, apologies to Joshua there. I've heard he's actually a real nice bloke as well. I felt quite bad about that. Who's Callum Mason? If somebody could do some research for me on that one, that would be appreciated. All right, so Scoob's on Fittipaldi's wing now. The battle for P1 reignites. 17 laps after we saw them first go at it. As they down past the support lane pit lane, it looks like he's still going to be quite a bit too far back. So he's going to really have to try and size him up. And already, I mean, they're 2/3 of the way, maybe even halfway around the lap. Ooh, Scooby-Doo has a bit of a look. He's close here, but the angle on that braking is just too hard under the hotel. I mean, they're about 2/3 of the way around the lap. And Scooby's already going to be thinking about that hairpin at the end of the back straight. He's going to be moving his car around, finding the air, finding the right run, trying to get that timing, the momentum right to time that run and have a good old go at him down the back straight with the DRS wide open. So that's what he's going to be thinking about. And it looks like he's positioned himself quite well, I have to say. 6/10 back as they enter T1. Now he's going to pick up a toe as they go over and down the hill, through 2, over through 3, now down the crest. And he's going to be picking up that toe. Now this corner's opened up. Half a second behind now. Little bit of a lock-up from Frederick Vesti. And it looks like that's cost him. That's cost him dearly. It's killed his momentum onto the straight. 7.5 back now. He's still going to be far too far behind now. But he can size him up. But Fittipaldi, to his credit, has positioned the car really well. He's watching his mirrors, but still hitting his braking points, where he sees exactly how far behind Vesti is. He's judging that well. He knows when he needs to defend, knows when he doesn't need to defend. He can really maximize his traction that way and just really take away air from the front of Scooby-Doo's Mystery Mobile. So really actually a really solid, mature drive we're seeing here from Enzo Fittipaldi, who may not have the pace of that Prema, and who can blame you for not having the pace of the Prema? You know, and he did actually have a bit of a lock-up himself there, Enzo Fittipaldi, but halfway around the corner, that won't be taking too much off the tyre. There's a bit more on entry for Vesti. All right. 5 to go now. Fittipaldi crosses the stripe in P1 one more time. Is he going to get to do it again? It waits to be seen. Goes a little bit wide through 1. That's going to give Vesti a bit of a boner. And you see his heart rate just starting to spike a little bit now. Approaching that 200 number. Running down past all of the Rolex advertising. No lockups from either driver this time around through the hairpin. But still, about 7/10 back. And again, I'm not even sure that Fittipaldi's going to need to defend here. No, he's not. Breaking, and look, and he doesn't. And that's experience you're seeing there that Fittipaldi's acquired over his last 2 seasons in Formula 2. That knowing when and knowing when not to defend is a real asset when you're leading. Take it from someone who's raced very few cars over the last few years. Or it runs very different line through that, I'm going to call it spoon curve of Abu Dhabi. That's where Vesti's really strong. But then the angle of this braking zone as you hit the hotel, you can't crank the wheel over to the right. You'll just lock the fucking inside front and it'll be good night nurse. But they're going round through Latifi now. And Vesti does look to be as close as he's ever been. He's about half a second off the back end of Fittipaldi here. And they cross the stripe again. Very fronty car from Fittipaldi. He really tipped it in through the last corner there, Fittipaldi did. Getting the lock on. Alright, now Vesti does look closer here. He just needs to not lose big through this corner. And Fittipaldi locks up. Fittipaldi locks up. That's going to push him a little bit wide on the exit. And look at the number now. Only 4.5 behind. We've seen him 7.5 on previous laps. DRS wide open. Fittipaldi knows he's going to have to defend this time. Starts to snake across the road. He's going to want to have to put him on the marbles here. Does so. Puts Vesti right to the inside. But he's got it beautifully under control on that left foot. And Scooby-Dooby-Doo slides through into the P1 position. And his mum's absolutely buzzing. Porsche still P7 an update on him. Mrs. Vesti's absolutely over the moon. Looking like she was in a bloody trampoline there in pit lane. Go on, Fred. And again, I don't wish any, ill fortune on Porsche or for in fact Enzo Fittipaldi. Great guy. But I kind of want to see Fred win the championship. You love an underdog, don't you? You love an underdog in sport. That's what I'll boil it down to. Alrighty, so do you reckon ART... it's an interesting one. Do you reckon ART tell Porsche in his limited edition paint job on the radio that Vesti's now leading? Or is that going to piss him off? Or is he just going to see it on the screen anyway and they just... Yeah, I reckon you just don't address it. Yeah, shit, Vesti loves a win. Yeah, somebody making a good point that we like to see the Prema drivers win. It's a good point. ART is right. Although, did a pretty good job of ruining Armstrong's career. Anyway, Hadjar hanging on to P4. Patrick Swayze. Come on, Patrick. Come on, Patrick. Put that baby in a corner. Come on. Yeah, like this move from Patrick. Get to the inside. Get to the inside. Doesn't quite have the grip. Oh, he's going to... Here we go. Is he going to throw it? I really wanted him to throw it to the inside of the hotel. That would have been real fun. Did he just say dick down? Dip down. Has the front to dip down. Yes, that is what we were seeing from... that is what we were seeing from Patrick Swayze there. He's got a strong front end. Because it's Thriller. Martin's still with the fastest lap, so... Nah, I reckon if you're Fred, you take this. You don't want to push the envelope too much. Pulled out a 3-second gap Frederick Vesti has on Enzo Fittipaldi there. Alrighty, 22 of 23 for those of you just listening. Sorry, I'm not, this isn't radio, 22 of 23, it's Vesti, Fittipaldi for sure. Great drive from Dick for sure, actually. Great drive from Dick for sure in that VAR. Car. I'll be nice. Past the yachts they go, in this little train here, which is reared up by Porsche. He's weaving like crazy, says Patrick Swayze. That run. Yeah, I mean, it's a very agile thing to start weaving like a blind nun. One of the only remaining drivers at the Red Bull Academy for next year, Isaac Hadjar. Everybody else telling Red Bull to stick where the sun don't shine, as far as I'm aware. But I won't get too political. All right, this almost feels like the battle for the lead now, the battle for P4. Patrick Swayze and Isaac Hadjar. Oh, bit of rear locking from Swayze there, but gets it pulled up. Now here we go. This is going to be Swayze's last opportunity. And we're probably going to cut to Vesti right as this battle heats up would be my gamble. But, oh, is he going to... Go on, Patrick! Go on! What a move, Swayze! What a move! Patrick Swayze, take I've spat on my nose. That was a brilliant move by Dennis Hauger. And a brilliant drive from Frederick Vesti, who keeps this thing going to tomorrow. I believe a 6th win of the season. And Hauger with the greatest overtake for P4 I've ever seen. Cracking stuff. Great sprint race. I mean, hey, how good's Formula 2? I actually forgot this championship was still even a thing. Big deal. That's a big dick drive from Scooby-Doo. Oh. $16 points the gap. Fucking that's on. 16 points, a 16-point margin, that is on. And we don't know if Porsche is going to get this penalty yet either for his infringement. But important to remember though, Porsche is French, so that's probably not going to be a factor. But 16 points going into Sunday. Good on you, Scooby Dooby Doo. That's a backbone drive. That's a backbone drive. Man, how good. All right. I'm going to enjoy the rest of my Saturday now. Yeah. When will we see Vesti on the podcast? I don't know. Remember, he's a part of an academy, so probably never. Yeah, hey, have a good one, team. I'm going to leave it there. Ciao.